Hey guys, guess what came in the mail today? My shrimp! My orange shrimp. And I'm actually quite glad to see they're doing okay, because they had a little bit of a traumatic experience on the way here. I'm going to explain what all transpired, or what I believe to have transpired, and explain to you how you can also prevent this situation from happening with taking just a little extra precaution, a little more time on your part if you are shipping any sort of aquatic animal. So, these guys were shipped in a generic breather bag. Now, the real name brand, I think it's Cordon, makes the breather bags. They're blue. These are green. Now, that being said, these do still work. They do have kind of a small reputation for not being as resilient as the genuine Cordon breather bags. They're much less expensive than the name brand, but, you get what you pay for. I've personally used these for shipping aquatic animals across the country, and I've had really good success with them. But I've also had an incident. See, I was shipping some cherry shrimp across the country, and, I do my checks with the bag. I package it, as nicely as it can be. But unfortunately, the bag did pop halfway through the shipment, and it got there. And you will know if your bag of whatever you ordered has popped, because when you get the package from the Postal Service, they're going to bring it in a bag because they have no idea what's in here. They don't want to get it on them, etc. They're just covering liability on their end. And you'll probably get the package sooner than expected. They actually expedite these packages, or at least that's what I've noticed, when it comes to a leaking fluid, because they don't want to deal with that. So this was supposed to come on Tuesday. It came today. I don't know when the pop happened, but I can tell you a good idea of why it happened. Now, I'm no newbie when it comes to shipping live animals across the country. That's why when I go to the post office, I physically go to the post office, because I specifically use live animal priority mail. Live animal priority. It exists. You don't have to get overnight shipment for live animals. That's a big deal, because you cannot order or purchase live animal priority shipping online. You have to physically go to the UPS or USPS location, and you will have to declare what kind of animal it is. And the reason this is important is because in the system, electronically, it is noted that it is an animal shipment. They will treat the package differently in transit because of that. If you simply write animals inside, they're not going to be able to read that. The machines that have these things on conveyor belts will not read that as it goes hurling through the system. Now, why did my bag pop if I chose live animal priority? Well, it's because, and I checked with the person several times because I didn't see it listed on my receipt when I shipped it. I kept asking, are you sure it's marked live animal? Are you sure? And the person at the post office said, yeah, it's right, it's marked. And she just wrote it on the box. Here's the thing. Because live animal priority is not often used, or it's not a common thing that happens every day at a lot of post offices, the employees genuinely do not know it's an option. And in fact, I looked in the computer with them. It was the last option on page 3 of shipping options for priority, which means even if they looked at it at a cursory glance, they never would have known it was there. They have to go 3 pages deep into the menu on the computer on their end to even know it exists. So you can't really get upset at the post person for it. But that being said, I think in my shipment, 7 out of the 10 shrimp actually survived the trip, despite the fact that there was no water in the bag. Rock on, little shrimp buddies, being hardy. But the post office, I explained this to them. I filed a claim. I got my money back for the value of the shipment, the shrimp, etc. And the buyer got 7 out of his 10 shrimp. I refunded him for 3 of the shrimp. Unfortunate things happen. But not always does it result in a catastrophic failure. Even in my case, where the bag was, almost empty, and this one is leaking. I can see it now. It's a very slow leak. Shrimp, these guys, Neocardinia davidi, are pretty freaking hardy. So they can survive some pretty ridiculous conditions if given the right chance. Now, I got to get these guys acclimating because they are cold. It is a little bit below freezing outside, and there, as far as I can see, is no heater pack. No heater pack. It was insulated with thick foam, so at least there's that. It is kind of cold to the touch. I don't want to warm them up too quickly because that might shock them. And I'm still a little sick. But, cautionary tale. This package, according to what I see, was not shipped with live animal priority. And I could tell that because there was a purchased with on eBay sticker on it, which that means the label was purchased online and shipped probably from the house. That's usually a big no-no, for me at least, because you can't get live animal priority and you can't guarantee the safety of the shrimp from the time you ship it. I always go approximately 5 p.m. At my location is when I ship them out by hand in person, because I know the truck that comes to pick up packages comes at 7 p.m. at the location that I drop my shrimp off to. And that's good because that means there's less time with them waiting inside of a facility. Granted, it's a climate-controlled facility. That's always nice. But that means they're also in transit for fewer overall hours. Instead of sitting there in a box a few extra hours and then being shipped off, they only wait there 1 hour. You get the idea. So, lesson learned, lessons learned for everyone, I hope. If you're shipping an animal, live animal priority exists. The only caveat, and I probably should have mentioned this sooner, is you cannot use a priority mail flat rate box. Now, it can be a different box from the post office, but flat rate boxes, even if you're paying live animal priority, which is a few cents extra, actually, it's not even all that much more expensive, but it's just against regulations to use priority flat mail boxes. I don't know why exactly, but it is what it is. So I hope that was educational. I hope that we all learned something here today, that not just because the box is wet, and man, it is wet, like it's flopping apart here. That doesn't mean instant catastrophe. So, I'm going to get these guys acclimated.